Back to the 1937 summary of Operation Winter Solace. I'm starting this position in a little bit different place. We actually are not in the lion's den right now, but we soon will be. We'll be entering this door, and I want to give you guys a brief tour of the lion's den for some of you new subscribers who haven't seen it fully, and then we'll go and do a quick summary of what's been developing in 1937. So we'll enter the door, and you can see in here, this is the lion's den in all its glory. A lot of stuff going on here as well, but I'll just give you a few wide shots to show you here. Here we have our income tracker and technology charts, and over here we have a personal project of mine, a hydronic heating system, which is what I do for a living. And then over here we also have our TVs with various World War II documentaries on right now. We have our war table in the kind of the foreground there. And then we also have some of our neutrals and Spanish Civil War expansions, as well as a special thing I'll go over there in a second. But if we pan around here, we will see what's going on. And this is basically just turn order. I just made it simple, minimalistic over here to show you what the German player, the Comintern player, the Japanese player, the Commonwealth player, the French, Italian, and American and KMT player all go in sequence of order. Especially if it goes Vichy or Free France, that's in the same order turn as well as the Spanish Civil War. So just always it reminds me on which sequence we're doing, and especially if we're doing whatever, that this is 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, and then these two are going to be 4.4, 4.5, and once again 4.6 if you guys haven't already caught on to that. So yeah. Anyways, we'll go over here to the actual war table itself, and give you a span over of current production and various things. I won't get too detailed in what I've been deciding on buying right now, because we're just doing a summary of the 37 version. But this is a current up-to-date setup, or should be a current up-to-date setup of what's going on here, and we'll touch on this briefly when we come back, but I just wanted to show you the war board in general, and I'll also turn on the LED lighting just for a little bit more presence and cinematic effect. But anyways, we're going to go on over here. This is once again two battle boards. This is actually a general hand grenade idea. When I was designing this table, I often asked what I should add, and he said, do battle boards. So we had one on this side, and of course, one on the other side, where you can do attack and defense, and, you know, defense and attack, or two people, or 4 people, I should say, and 2 different factions could be doing battling at the same time if it doesn't affect them, right? But over here, I just got a few banners of the Lion's Den, and the logo, or the Panzer King logo. But here in the center, you see the lovely Spanish Civil War in all its simplicity. And basically, it just shows you what we're all fighting for. I mean, we're fighting for a lot, but the big thing is, you know, the nationalists, the Republicans, if we do win the war, we get a free gift from the Spain for potentially, you know, every turn until Spain no longer is independent and sides with either the Republicans, the communists, or the Spanish nationalists, or the Nazis, right? So, anyways, but yeah, I just wanted to show you that if you do win it as the fascist German Axis player, however you want to phrase it, you will get the Spanish Blue Division delivered to you in Berlin every turn. Or if the Comintern ends up winning it, you will get the International Brigade sent to you in Moscow every turn, which is pretty nice. Or if it's not resolved at all, you know, the spoils just get divided up in Spain. Anyways, if we scroll up here, it's literally 50-50. We have 3 Western and 3 Eastern territories in Madrid. Or sorry, in Spain. One of them will be Madrid, obviously. Divided, and I'm just keeping this as a tracker just to keep in touch with that. So That's kind of my little homage to the Spanish Civil War right now, just having fun with that. And then of course up here you see different documentaries and battle plans that I always like to keep in the background. Just keeps me in the mood. Over here we have just a simple setup. I've been using facilities and markers as well. A lot of this is all from historical board gaming. Some of it's from Shapeways. Here is hot off the press. Some new battleships, I think this is the Wyoming class. Yeah, Wyoming class. So this is the Wyoming and the Arkansas, and as soon as it dries up, I'm actually going to replace them with the South Dakota class that are on the eastern seaboard of the U.S. because these are the historic battleships of that era. You know, they didn't see a lot of fame in the Second World War, but yeah, just interesting to the period. They're, I think, almost classified as dreadnoughts or pre-dreadnoughts because of their guns. I believe these might have 12-inch guns, and a lot of them from what you can see here, but that'll be covered in the dry dock. I also just painted up the USS Ranger, so I'm going to add that to my carrier fleet as well as I've started doing a bit more painting and decaling, and this is a Sutherland seaplane. Hopefully you guys like the color effects with the blues and whatnot, and of course the blue B to indicate it's a seaplane. Yeah, and just even the deckling, I'm actually happy how it turned out. So I got a lot of these seaplanes to paint up when I find the time, of course. And then this is just a brief overview. This will probably be seen in my other channel, which I'm gonna keep secret for now because I've been working on that as well. But that'll be let loose to you guys later on in the near future. But I just wanted to show you this hydronic heating system that I've been working on, which is kind of cool, and give you a wide angle of that. Just a nice looking setup there. Anyways, and then we'll go over here, give you a wide angle of this too. Just shows you all the nations. You have the Axis factions here with Berlin, Rome, and Tokyo. You have the Allies with the clocks of Washington, London, and Paris. And still I have Leningrad, Moscow, and Stalingrad for the Comintern, right? And of course I have all their technology currently up to date and present, as far as I know anyways. And I think the income tracker is up to date as well. Should be, but don't take too much heed to that for now, if I did make a few mistakes. And then of course we have what I would call the pro-Allies neutrals, and of course the pro-Axis neutrals right here. And then of course I have all my charts set up for easy referencing when I'm playing the game. And then of course I have over here Germany, Japan, and Italy in the back there for easy referencing. And I have the Allies over here too as well. So it's not usually my standard setup, but I just wanted to show you guys and show you what I'm working on with everything. We'll pan down here to the board, of course. And there's those South Dakota class battleships I'll probably swap out for the Wyoming and the Arkansas. You know me, I always like to be historically accurate. But yeah, this is currently up to date, the map. And like I say, I don't think anything's too out of the ordinary here. You can see I didn't take Slovakia last turn for obvious reasons. I didn't want to give the Allies $3 a turn until I'm ready to go to war. I have a few ships maybe off the board here, which you might not even notice just because I'm painting them up. And going from there, like in 1937, there's supposed to be a Dutch destroyer there. I'm painting that just to finalize stuff because, you know, the work is never done. You can see our current battle fleets in Japan here and the Western Seaboard. But yeah, just, you know, a lot of work obviously this table is, and I just want to show you guys a brief summary of what's going over, or sorry, what has happened. And basically in 1937, not a lot happened. We have had quite a big development in China between the communists taking southern China and of course northern parts of China, like via the warlords, and we have the Kuomintang, the KMT, just kind of consolidating power in the region, right? And as I'm sure the communists are trying to influence more warlords to turn them on their side. So that's pretty much what's been happening in China. Not a lot else in Japan. Japan has been consolidating and building, you know, a massive fleet and obviously troops to boot as well. And some of them have already head south to Formosa. But that gives them an option with that naval base there to attack China, Australia, the Dutch, Far East Command. You know, the world's their oyster, even of the Americans if they so choose, right? So that's one thing. Also over here we can see a current update right here. And I still got to paint that other French submarine, but the French subs are in Sea Zone 83 currently. And of course the Italians were lucky enough by the hair of their chinny chin chin from my last video to show you that they won the Abyssinian War, which I didn't think was going to happen. And you know what, they still rolled horribly, but were able to come through a victory. But you know, heavy casualties for sure, which definitely doesn't help Italy's progress in the future. Over here you see a whole bunch of ships in the African core there. These are all fleets relative to certain areas in the Mediterranean. You know, we have the 14th British Fleet, the 8th French Fleet, the 6th Italian Fleet, and of course the 9th British Fleet outside the Straits of Gibraltar there. And of course all their ships relative to that. So yeah, you know, minor details. I'm starting to add French flags now just to major areas in the map, right? Along with my German flags. And you know, this is just a constant progress of you know, of setup, right? And of course we have another French fleet, the second, just off Marseille, which is of lesser capital ships. We have the 9th American Fleet, which we've kind of already gone over, just in there in Sea Zone 30. And we have the 1st British Fleet right there, which is up, comprising of the Revenge class, the Royal Oak, and several support ships. So, you know, the British Navy definitely holds sway to the world's oceans. And Spanish Civil War right here, it's a better close up here. Lots going on in Spain, whether it's in Gibraltar or the nationalists. Everybody's kind of strong right now, which is nice to see, but I don't think we're going to see a resolution with the Spanish Civil War anytime soon, unless some lucky rolls head to the nationalists or the Republicans. Not a lot's happening in South America. I've taken these units off currently just to repaint them. And of course, America, you know, it's got, you know, various, you know, units placed, but they've been banking a lot of their money. So they haven't really done much there. And same with on the West Coast. They can't move much of their fleet because that's just not in the rules. But yeah, Singapore is really consolidated. Sorry about that. They have a Far East fighter, and you can see my Far East fleet is once again just a different color than the British home fleet, just to separate them, make them look a little bit more different, and give them a little bit more more difference between their homeland as well. So kind of like the Canadians. Canadians have once again their own color, and once again they're in Gibraltar, and another escort corvette, or I should say just corvette, has been built as well. So yeah, that's in the sea. And then we got one on the escort duty, along with that German transport that's going somewhere. We just don't know where yet. Or do we? Or I wonder if people will guess where it's going or what it's going to do, right? So, and Europe's been pretty stagnant. The German economy is just trying to Anschluss and annex whatever territories they can. Austria's been taken, Slovakia's been taken, Bohemian's been denied. And of course, you know, factory development is huge right now for the Germans, trying to get an edge on technology or technology growth. So that's important. Very little has happened on the Eastern Front. Or I shouldn't say Eastern Front, I should just say in Eastern Europe. Russian troops have moved up to the front. Who knows what they're doing. And of course we have a lone fighter here in northern Kazakhstan. And of course Mongolia is very neutral, and the Japanese and the Russians have actually been at peace so far. So it's been nice to see. You know, everybody should be at peace, right? Over here, the Russians have been using that Arctic Passage, sending ships there. They have one more, torpedo boat destroyer. But that's pretty much it. That's what's been going on. Major highlights, obviously, the Abyssinian War, the Spanish Civil War, and of course the China Civil War. That's where combat has really happened, every other nation right now is posturing for a better position. So U-boats have been sighted all over the Atlantic, and the German Kriegsmarine is starting to be more and more of a threat every day. So that is probably the best summary I can do for you guys. You know, aside from probably what you already know already. Obviously 38 will probably bring a far more interesting summary, but maybe not. We don't know. Patience is a virtue. But yeah, that being said, I figure I'd depart now and let you guys get back to your life. I just wanted to give you a brief summary of everything here in the Lion's Den and what's going on in 1937, and just give you a brief overview of what's going on everywhere else beyond the actual war board and the battle board, right? So that being said, I will bid you guys adieu and see you guys in the new year of 1938. This is Panzer King in the Lion's Den, signing out. You guys all stay classy.